Hello and welcome to episode 23 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. Oh, what a start.
I haven't even put that in the document to mess it up.
Second year of the podcast, starting strong. Thank you very much for all your kind words on the anniversary episode. It was nice to meet Punky Horrors in the flesh.
People are not going to know that reference.
I've just realised that I have got your mic thread underneath my microphone currently.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
Because I went to go, because my thread was on my tripod today. So I was like, I'll put my thread. And then I looked, I was like, it's got a thread in it.
This ain't mine.
Which means it's the thread off one of your mic stands.
Fair enough.
Which is mine now. No, I just remind me to give it you when I actually eventually see you again. But yes. It's been a week, of course. I think the stars must have aligned to give us that Plymouth result when they did for the anniversary episode, so we didn't have to be miserable. And then as soon as that happened,
can go back to
I've got hiccups straight away. Great start. Normal service resumes. Yeah, and it's been a week of Wednesday. But
if people want to know, typical Wednesday, as the shirt says.
Indeed, but tell me how your week's been before we get into all of that, Jake.
I've been having to do plumbing this week. So when Dexter had a piece of plumbing turned up so I could fix my bath, and then we found out that bit fixed the problem, then we had to replace the entire drain system on the bath.
Oh, yeah.
So we did that, got it all sorted, and then my little one turned around and said, "Daddy, you've got white hairs on your head. You're old," and walked off. Like, cheers, darling. Love you too. But it's been a good week, actually. They've been getting a lot done.
Your little girl is a big character. Like me, I was like, she is a character. Like, and I found it funny that because you were doing the bathroom out and you had to tell her not to lock herself into the bathroom. Yeah, which is quite funny because I believe there's a story there as well. So
yeah, there is.
Yeah, but no, it's plumbing. You're such an adult, Jake.
And this morning I fixed the extruder in the bathroom as well.
Extractor fan even.
That's the one.
That's the fella.
And I fixed that this morning at 7:30, so I'm feeling quite proud of myself and getting things done. What about you? How's your week been?
It was nice to have Sunday, because last week I worked 7 days, didn't I? Because we did the... But it was nice to have a Sunday to chill. Everybody seems to be getting COVID again around me. No. So I'm just trying to dodge it this time and see what happens. But
when do you turn into the man in the bubble?
I can't really with my line of work, unfortunately. So just riding it out and hoping I don't get it again. But it does feel like a ticking time bomb before that happens. We are all part of the herd now. It's the feeling of the vibe.
Yep.
If nobody's caught on yet of what the crack is. But we had a bit of a Sunday off. I made an impulse purchase.
Oh, what did you buy?
I bought Rage 2 Collector's Edition for some weird reason. So
That is strange.
You know when collector's editions come out?
Yes.
Well, this one didn't do very well, but I was like, Game had it really, really cheap. And they had it cheaper than it was selling for anywhere, and it was sealed. And I was like, I'm going to buy that. It's huge. It's over there. I'm not getting it, but it's about this big. It's quite big. And like, it's got a talking face in it. And I'll be honest, I played Rage 2 on Game Pass for a while, and I love the first Rage. I love it. But like the second one, I couldn't really get into it, but I'll try again. But I just thought, I walked out, and I was like, so far, I have no idea why I just bought that. But I think it's because I'm used to collector's editions being so expensive. Yeah. The fact this was under 20 quid, I was like...
Oh, bloody hell, that's a deal.
Yeah.
You can't not.
Brand, I was like... It was one of those like, well, I guess I...
To be fair, I'm going to buy that. I'm umming and ahhing about getting WWE 2K's collector's edition because it comes with a Rey Mysterio Mac. And I think that could be quite cool just to put on the podcast and never wear it again.
No. I'm not having that on my podcast. You would look like you belonged on some sort of register, sir. Well, you're not wearing a wrestling mask on the podcast. I like
wrestling. Leave me alone. I have done for years.
Well, that's it. It's some insight into
that is
life.
How me and my missus met. By wrestling.
Excuse me?
Not in that sense.
Mud wrestling? Any others? No?
No. We were both big fans of the Hardy Boys back in the day.
Fans of wrestling. You didn't meet via a wrestle, locked eyes and went, he's the one, she's the one.
That would be
That
funny.
wasn't a moment. It's just like covered head to toe in mud. I don't know where this is going.
No, I don't.
Welcome
We'll do
back.
housekeeping.
Yeah, let's do housekeeping. Even on our year, we've had no new reviews. Oh, we have had some on Spotify though. Some people have been going through and 5-starring, so thank you for that. Please keep doing that because you can't really leave text reviews, but 5 stars.
Yeah.
Once you've listened to an episode, you can give it 5 stars. That'd be cracking if you do.
The fact that Spotify finally cottoned on and gone, we actually have to do this now. Helpful.
Yeah, it's one of those. There is an ominous blue flicker in my camera and it's annoying me, and hopefully that's not picking up too much on the podcast, but if it is, I apologise for giving anybody seizures. But
I ain't watching this one.
No. I was in a car park yesterday, Jake, and I thought of you because the light was flickering and I was like, Jake would be screwed down here, because it was really bad. It was quite a dimly lit car park, but because the light was going, it was like full on. I was like, you'd be breakdancing if you were in there.
We once had it like similar to that at a McDonald's, and I was going in and out of seizures. So is there any chance you can just turn that light off or get someone to fix it, or we got to leave? Yeah. Like, why? What's happening? She just went, look. Anyway, is he epileptic? No, he's just having a lovely little dance.
Well, you're so normal for you that you wouldn't have said anything up until that point.
No.
And then, of course, turn it off if there's an epileptic in, for Christ's sake. Right, should we talk about Sheffield Wednesday? Oh, yeah, socials, all of that. Go at Talking Wed. We're posting a bit more on there. At Dexterity Box, at PunchChef41. If you're on Twitter, there's also at Dexterity Box on Instagram. There's all that sort of stuff. Go follow us all over there. Membership's available, as always. And the Discord is there. If you want the Discord link, DM me on one of those platforms or send us an email at talkingwednesdaypodcast@gmail.com. Let's talk about Wednesday. Actually, no, let's not. Let's do a random topic that came into us this week. And this random topic that was sent in via email, I think. Usually if they're left in the document like this, it means they came via email. So, Would you rather speak like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader?
I'd rather Yoda.
I mean, I already kind of breathe like Darth Vader because I'm a wheezing asthmatic. So,
yeah, true.
Can you do a Yoda, Jake? Are we going to get that cringe on the podcast?
Not without properly embarrassing myself and it going Irish.
Well, the original Yoda's Miss Piggy, isn't it? And it's like,
yes. Oh, tasty one you are.
It's like, what tasty one you are?
I don't know.
Tasty one? Did you just take the In-Betweeners Feisty One reference and do that to it?
Yeah.
My soul actually hurts. Well,
that's fine.
Because it was Henson, they did.
Yeah.
I didn't realise for ages that is just Miss Piggy. You know, the voice that goes around it. But yeah, I would.
Go on, do your best Darth Vader then.
No. I'm not a performing monkey, sir.
Not what your bio says. It says you're a musician, so technically you are.
I don't think. Does my bio say I'm a musician?
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does. I think it's like I pretend to be other people, play the odd instrument, and enjoy watching SWFC. I need to change that bit because I don't enjoy watching SWFC anymore. But yeah,
it brings you pain and misery.
Yeah, pretty much. And we will talk about the pain and misery now because Wednesday went to Oxford. Oh, Jake, just talk us through it, for Christ's sake. Get it over with.
So, started out really well. Go 1-0 up back to Barry Bannan goal. And he's scoring more goals, which is something I said he needed to do for a while. We absolutely battered them for the first half, pretty much. But then we let them back in. Typical Wednesday. Croc comes in. It's a goal. You don't even have to say if it's a header or if he's volleyed it or something. A croc goes into our box, you can guarantee it's going to be a goal. Because we just don't defend. You go in at half-time 1-1 thinking, right, should have done better than that. Because we should have been 3 or 4 up. Again, it's another one of those cases of not taking our chances. And It's getting really annoying now that we can't bury these when we're on top of games and trying to get things going. Second half comes in, they change it, they go to 5-man midfield. We struggle against the 5-man midfield. Granted, when Plymouth did it, we were okay. It was a little bit of different. It was an untrained team as well, which was nice to see. I think it's the first time I've seen Darren Moore not muck about with the team.
Yeah.
They get really properly into this game. They look a little bit, it looks like they've had the hairdryer treatment by their gaffer. Windac comes on, nearly has an opening goal from the off. It would have been like a very quick substitution goal. But he did come up and be the difference maker. Great 1-2 with Gregory. Puts it home. Celebrates as well, which some fans were having a go at him about. Does an actual celebration. But then it lasted all of 2 minutes because they went and scored. And it was just poor defending for their second goal as well because...
Yeah, the defensive organisation is just...
To be fair... Peacock foul, unlucky, but why are you not saving that with your hands instead of your legs? You go try and get your body in front of it.
It doesn't need to fully get to him, though, does it? That's the point. Like, we need to defend better before it gets to him because he's a good keeper, but he has to deal with some crap, you know?
Well, the first bit as it leads up to it is one of our defenders just jumping up for a header. He literally jumps up, heads it, and doesn't heads it far enough. And, of course... We've all seen the bench, Sam Winnell's on it. And we all know what's going on when he comes on in 74th minute. Like, it's going to happen, isn't it? It's going to happen. 84th minute.
Sammy Winnell.
84th minute. Again, we're back to not being able to hold leads in the last 10 minutes of games, which is annoying. But 84th minute, zero defending. No one picks him up. And everyone knows he likes a header and wins it like that. We do try and get into the game.
Yeah, but what did it come from?
A corner.
Again, what have we been saying all season?
This is our 11th goal conceded by a corner this season.
We can't defend set pieces.
No.
We're
too small as in terms of defenders, I think. I think you have a season fit with Iorfa and Dunkley. You have that sorted.
Their injuries, I don't think I'm overstating this either, have cost us. If we don't get into the playoffs and don't go up,
I think it's 15 points we've lost recently as well, or something like that.
Not having a steady defence with our best defenders, because obviously they're taking a wage. You can't really bring in players of that quality while you've got them doing that. And we need them, but them not being fit is costing us.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm not saying it's not that obviously you can't really blame a player for getting injured, but if you look at it, the manager's going to take a lot of stick for this. But if he had all his players available,
exactly,
would it be the same? I don't think it would. I think you've got to have experience at the back in a defensive position for that organisation. And I know we've got Hutch that does the defensive duties and things like that, but you get Iorfa and Dunkley in that back line, we don't have these issues.
Look at the start of the season when we had Iorfa and we were looking really good, and people saying we might have a chance there because we were playing some good football.
He's good on the ball as well. There's no panic there, you know.
No.
You've got Dunkley coming in and just doing the grunt work and doing the great interception work and winning it. Then you pass it along. You know, if we're going to play out from the back, Dunkley and Iorfa are a brilliant pair because Dunkley comes in and does all the breakup work, does all of that. Then you give it to Iorfa. He can just pass it off and Iorfa can get the ball moving and get it going. We are really missing that because we play out from the back now. You know, and if you don't want to always go to your fullbacks, you can go to one of your centre-backs in someone like Iorfa and use that, but we've not been able to utilise that.
And I saw a lot of people like complaining that the new lad that come in, why was he on the bench? I get why he's on the bench. He just come in.
No, that is a sign of our fan base being a little bit hypocritical. Surprising that element because they were saying, can you imagine the stick he got if we'd have lost and he'd not named an unchanged team?
Oh yeah, completely.
We've just beat Plymouth 4-2. Why are you not?
Why are you changing it?
Yeah, exactly. So that is that argument. I'm kind of like, you don't throw him straight in, and because you'd be calling him in if we'd have lost, and you'd thrown Story straight in. He's an idiot for throwing him straight in. You know,
it's the time, and the thing is, what gets me, people went off the deep end again as they normally do with the game, but. If you actually watch the football, it was actually very good football by Wednesday. It's just this defensive frailty we got where we can't defend crosses into the box. We just panic.
The stats even lean towards Oxford in the end, though, and I know it's not a stats-based game, but I know people do also enjoy to look at the stats. The stats ended up 17 to 18 shots, so we had 18, they had 17, but only 5 of ours were on target as opposed to their 8. They actually ended up winning the battle of possession in the end, 51-49%. Made more passes. They made 5 more passes than us. They made 2 more fouls than us, but they only got 1 yellow card. We got 2. They had 3 offsides. We had 2, and they had 8 corners to our 4. So if you look,
what the annoying thing is as well, Jack Hunt keeps getting the crosses in, and nobody getting on the end of it.
Let's talk about Jack Hunt, because there was a build-up, and Carl Robinson at the end of the game, Sheffield Wednesday should have had a clear pen, and that did involve Hunt, if I remember right.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was on Hunt. So what are your thoughts?
It is a clear penalty, but we don't get that rub of the green. We haven't had that rub of the green all season, so I don't expect it to change now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But the fact that a manager come out and said that it was a clear penalty, it told you a little bit about how...
He likes Wednesday, though, doesn't he?
Well, his family he got Wednesday fans in his family as well.
Yeah.
Because he was saying in the pre-match build-up that he had some family members asking if they could have some tickets for the away end.
Yeah.
Well, away end, I mean, corner of the stadium, because they don't have 2 away ends.
I don't think Oxford was as negative as they were last time.
No.
It wasn't because it was bad last time. It was bad, but they didn't really have a choice when we scored so early on.
To be fair, I did see some of their fans having a go at us for time wasting, which I found funny.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. They were time wasting from the 22nd minute last match or whatever it was, that early. But no, I rated Oxford for a while. They are they are one of your...
They're still up there.
Yeah, they're one of your... What you'd imagine a League One side to play like. A good old-fashioned League One side. They've got that about them. You know, and I respect that, and I quite like that in a way, and I don't mean that to any detriment. I mean, as in, like, you need those teams in League One because they are where the football came from.
Yeah. And if you look at where they were at the end of last season, getting into playoff position again, they're just doing the same business again, and they're just... And the other thing, a lot of people don't give him that much credit, but Carl Robinson knows this league. He's a very good manager for this level. Yeah. And he knows how to set a team up.
I wouldn't have minded him, to be honest.
He would have done a job. He would have done quite well at us, I reckon.
Yeah.
For me, next game, you've got to have Windass and Gregory starting.
Yeah, that's there's no debate. There's no debate.
Windass is already on 4 goals already.
Windass...
And
can you imagine if Windass had been fit all season and starting for us?
Well, can you imagine a fit Windass and a fit Iorfa and Dunkley?
I'm tired, mate, of saying, can you imagine if our players had been fit? Because when are our players ever bloody fit?
Never.
What have we been saying for... Obviously, we've not been doing this podcast for that long, but I know I've been saying it for the last couple of seasons
as well.
They're never fit. We always go, it'd have been a different season if this player were fit.
Yeah, but you ever notice when we get a new manager in, it's always, I've never known an injury crisis team like this. Every time. Carlos, Monk, everyone has said there's something not right with the thing. And it needs to get sorted. I don't know how you fix it apart from train somewhere different. See, that's the issue.
Yeah, well, it's not just that though. We pick up injuries in games, and they seem to be the rehab doesn't seem to be.
They're all hamstring injuries at the minute as well, because Adeniran's out for a while now.
Yeah, he's quite a big one, hasn't he? It's come out in the wash that he's going to be out for a while. It's a big retaliation from Wednesday here, where we go next, because you know we've got to bounce back again. We managed to dig that one up, but we've got Ipswich coming up, and
they're flying.
Yeah, their team's finally started to gel, so that's going to be a big telltale sign of whether we can. We did it against Plymouth, you know,
and annoyingly, game went for us in the league the weekend.
We bottled it, didn't we? Really? Yeah, and we'll talk about that because we'll go League One review. So. Yeah, talking about games going forward, Lincoln City beat Plymouth. Plymouth were at home. Lincoln beat them 2-1. Bolton beat Shrewsbury 1-0. Rotherham beat Cheltenham 1-0. So Rotherham I reckon Rotherham are going up, to be honest. Yeah. They're doing all right. Morecambe beat Wickham 3-2. That was a good one for us as
again.
Well. Cambridge beat Crewe 1-0. Doncaster beat MK Dons.
Yeah.
Wigan beat Gillingham 3-2. Charlton beat Fleetwood 2-0. Burton and AFC Wimbledon drew 1-1. Sunderland beat Portsmouth 1-0. Not great for us, that one, to be fair. But then again, Portsmouth...
Yeah.
Well,
if you look at the table, it's a mini league between Burton and like Oxford and MK now in terms of what happened next.
And rounding it off there, Ipswich beat Accrington Stanley 2-1. It's...
That being said, that Ipswich game, the Ipswich player should have had a straight red because he gave him a right hook. If you haven't seen it, one of the Ipswich players just literally lamps him one and the referee didn't see it.
No, I'd not seen that. The one thing that's worrying me is I hate playoffs. I love them and I hate them because it feels like when you get so close, it feels like you've wasted a season if you don't go up through them. And I wanted us in the playoffs fighting for automatics. At the minute, we're 6 points from the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oxford are in 6th. Yes, we've got a game in hand on Oxford, but so have Plymouth, and Plymouth are 3 points ahead of us. We're on 40 points, so Wednesday are in 8th on 40 points. We I wouldn't be surprised if we finished 8th. We seem to love 8th this season.
There's 60 points left to play for.
Mm-hmm.
I can see us getting 40.
My big worry is the drop-off if we don't get promoted this season. We've all seen it. If Wednesday don't fire themselves straight back up, and if we don't this time, I can't be arsed with losing the players and having to do a rebuild in this league. That's not what you want. You want to shift the dead weight and go back up and then have a rebuild in the championship and sort it out that way, because...
The only difference is if we do a rebuild next season, it can be a proper rebuild because we can spend money again.
Can we?
Yes. Yes, we can spend money. It was only for a season.
Yeah, but it depends who buys us.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Going off what we were going last season, I don't think there's a high chance Chancery ain't here next season.
So that means it's going to be a rebuilding League One again, a la Ipswich, and hope it all gels.
Yeah. But you got to worry when somebody takes over a club, you never know if they're buying it for a business asset and they're going to try and get it to make money, or they're actually... Because the one thing I will say about Chancery is he wanted to do it as a bit of a passion project and put money into it. He did it the wrong way, but he wanted to do it that way. Now, if somebody takes us over who's all about the business and getting balance in the books, that's
you're
not going to
be
be
League One for a while.
Yeah, because you're not going to... You got to still shed it. Let's actually... Before we go into the news, let's actually look at what that could look like. Let's have a look at the wages of Sheffield Wednesday. Okay, so this is from. There's a site that. So take these with a pinch of salt because it's from Salary Sport. You know, it takes it, but it looks from what we've heard, what Bannan's contract is and stuff. These look pretty on the money in terms of wages. So apparently, Wednesday's highest earner is Bailey Peacock Farrell on 28 grand, but we won't be paying all of that.
No.
I reckon we'll probably paying about a good 50, 60 of that, but I don't think we're paying all of that. Barry Bannan is the next top earner, £21,000 a week, making a yearly salary of just over $1 million.
It makes sense with what we've heard.
Yeah. And that's, to be honest, for Barry Bannan, that's $1 million a year is, I know it's a lot in this league. It makes him one of the highest paid players in this league. But I can see it's what Aidan McGeady was on last season, apparently, or a season before. But I think Aidan McGeady's taken a contract cut and Aidan McGeady's on like 13 now. Callum Patterson on 12. Josh Windass on 12. Josh Windass and Callum Patterson are on the same wage. It's a bit weird, that. Liam Palmer on 10. Massimo Luongo on 10. Dominic Iorfa on 9.4, apparently. That's weird. But then again, playing for us. He had a new contract, didn't he?
He did.
That might have changed because I don't know if that might have gone up. Then again, there's probably clauses in there, isn't there?
Well, what is that? I offer 26, 27?
I offer is 26.
Yeah.
Shea Dunkley, 8.4. Berahino, 7.6. We're giving him nearly 400k a year to score how many goals? Sam Hutchinson, 5.6, nearly 300k a year. Fizz, I'm not sure I buy this one. Fizz, 5.3.
I don't believe that one.
I don't believe that one because I'd heard something different to that earlier on. George Byers 5.2, Joe Wildsmith 5.1, which makes sense because that's his championship contract. Jack Hunt 5.1, Lewis Gibson $5,000, but I don't think we were paying any of Gibson's wage to be honest. Lewis Wing $5,000.
What I don't get about the Gibson thing, why has he not been sent back? Because I keep hearing that he might be coming back.
Well, to be honest, if he's coming back, We need centre back, so we'll see what happens. Lee Gregory $5,000, Marvin Johnson 4.9, Shadipo 4.8. We're probably paying quite a high percentage of his wage, even though he's a loan as well. Adeniran 4.4. I could see that, but I'm not 100% on that one. Silas So 3.6, Canberry 3.3, Jaden Brown 2.1, Luke Jackson £840, Kieran Brennan. This will not be accurate anymore.
That won't be accurate because
he was on it. He was apparently on 830 a week. That's still $43,000 a year.
I love how you go. Oh, it's only this. Like
it's still $43,000 a year. You know, but yeah, for a 21-year-old, $43,000 a year. But yeah, it'll be on more than that now. Addy Owen. 841 grand a year, by the way. Render 760. That's 40 grand a year. Josh Duodu, same price. Theo Corbin, who doesn't play for us, was apparently on £600. I don't buy that one.
That could be a little bit more.
Alex Bonington's the last one on this list for 550.
And of course, we don't know what Lang's is.
The reason I wanted to bring this up as well is because we talk about wages. People are always saying we're the highest paid club. We're on 194 a week currently. In wages. That's quite a lot. Sunderland, who are one of the other big clubs in this league, big clubs, you know, they pay 115k a week. This was a lot more, but they cut quite a lot of it this year. Their highest paid players, Aidan McGeady on 13k, but then the rest of their players are 8.5 and below, and that's Pritchard on 8.5. Does Pritchard still play for them? I think he does. These have got wiggle room with transfers recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've brought down their wages. You could see, the reason I'm saying it is because you could see Wednesday doing the same thing. Ipswich Town, however, are paying quite a lot of money in this league. They've got, they actually are paying 180 grand a week, apparently, Ipswich, and they haven't got the financial leniency that a club that have got recently relegated have, so.
But they also got taken over just as the season started.
You see, there's a lot of confusion around this one though, because it says they've got Selena, haven't they? Yeah. Who's on 21 grand a week, but he's a loan from City. So I don't know if he still plays for City, but he is a loan. I don't think they'll be paying much of that. And the rest of their players are on 10 grand. So there is a bit of inflation with that loan player there. But then again, there is for Bailey Peacock Farrell with us, who's allegedly on 28. So
I'd like to see Wendy utilising this partnership we made with Manchester United over like the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Where we had some players. It'd be nice to see if it worked. Pritchard is still at Sunderland. He joined in 2021.
Yeah, he was at Huddersfield. He moved to Sunderland. Yeah. Or was he at... Yeah.
No, he was at Huddersfield and moved to Huddersfield.
Yeah, that was where I was getting the confusion from there. So, there is all that... Go on.
The problem you've got is, do you see the likes of Barry Bannan staying for another season in League One?
No.
If we don't get out?
No.
But we won't get what we know he's valued for either, because... what we think he's valued for is how important he is.
When did he sign to? 2023?
Yeah, 2-year contract, I believe.
Well, then, I could see him seeing his contract out. I could, because I don't know if he'll want to carry on playing after this. It depends what he feels like, doesn't he?
Yeah. To be fair, he took a big risk in terms of signing that contract because we looked like we were done and dusted, weren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I don't want to think about what those wages would be effective.
He's pushing close to 300 appearances as well.
Yeah, it would be. I'd like to see Bannan do that, but I'm trying not to think too much about the situation we'll end up in next season, but it's getting worrying with Wednesday's current form.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you think we need to shed more off this wage bill? Do we need to have a rebuild? Do you think we've got a plan? Is there a plan there, or is the takeover the plan and then see what happens and leave it to the next guy? It's not the greatest at the minute, is it?
No.
Wonderful. I guess the positive was Massimo Luongo. The other, he's showing his engine once again.
Again in team of the week.
Exactly. So he's made team of the week again this week, and he could. I wouldn't be.
But then again, he's another one where we can say if we were fit for the start of the season.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see him going on deadline day either. If he's fit now and he starts making a couple of appearances, I could see someone coming in for him in Championship.
Yeah,
because he don't want to play at this level. He's said it in interviews.
He said it that he thinks he's better than this, which he is. Let's be honest,
he is. But also so is the club, and the club are bigger than you, mate. So make sure you come up with the club.
But also your injury record will put people off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with players like this.
God, we're never going to get ex-players on this podcast when I get so annoyed with them thinking they're bigger than the club, don't I? But then again, that's just who I am. Right. We talked about Alex Hunt getting a new deal and allegedly going off to Oldham. This did happen. We recorded the podcast the day early for the anniversary last week. So he has gone to Oldham to play in a bit of a relegation scrap. So
it's toxic down there.
It is. We've a
lot of people are actually questioning why we sent him to Oldham when you see what state there is and what their fans
Well, we
are
talk
like.
about him maturing. Jesus Christ, like he's gonna
he'll massively mature out of that one.
He was talking to the Oldham website and he said, quote, I had a talk with the coaches here and they have a lot of belief in my ability, so I feel like I'm going to fit in well. I'm a player that likes to create opportunities, so I'll constantly be looking to get on the ball and help the team play the best football possible. Saying all the right things for Oldham there. I hope he goes on and...
Sheridan back in charge as well at Oldham for the 6th time of Atkin.
He is. He's answered their call, hasn't he, really? He's gone to... Basically, apparently the way it's been reported is he's gone to answer their call for help. Kieran Byrne has extended his Owls contract. Kieran Byrne, Wednesday doing some good bit of business here.
Yeah.
And securing their younger players on longer deals. He told SWFC.co.uk, quote, I'm really happy I've broken through this season. I want to progress my career with Wednesday. The gaffer has told me how well he thinks I have done and he wants me to stay. I feel like I'm really developing playing under him, and obviously I want that development to continue. I've always had a good reception from the fans when I've been playing. I've received some really nice messages, and it was always in my mind to stay with Wednesday. It's home for me. This is the dream place to be, so hopefully I can cement myself in the team and have a long career with Wednesday.
Someone told me, bless him, he still does his shopping for his nan.
Aww.
He still goes and does the shopping for it. And this is Wednesday learning from what happened last season.
The rumour is, though, now we're looking to send him out on loan.
That only happens if we get another defender in.
Yeah. Because we have
like the one we missed out on that went to Sunderland. Danny Bath, yeah. Yeah. That was annoying because it was a free transfer as well.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't even money, it was an extra year.
Yeah.
That swayed him over there. It was so funny that I said we're going to bring Danny Bath back next.
Yeah, but did you see all the Wednesday players on his Instagram account with like the sad eye emoji crying? Like I think they all thought it was a done deal.
Yeah, I think we all thought it did look like he was coming here, didn't he? You know, and I didn't really. I'm not too fussed. Am I wrong not being too fussed?
Yes and no. That whole thing, yes, a 31-year-old player gone to Sunderland who need defenders, but then you look at his stats, how he did at the weekend, that would have been the difference between us winning and losing.
Yeah. I'm probably being like, we didn't get him, so whatever. But
you're just doing the typical, we didn't get him, not our problem, sod him.
Well, yeah, that and Sunderland were also in for Aidan Flint, right?
Yep.
I'd prefer Aidan Flint. Did you see what he did on the back end of Cardiff season after he'd gone back from us?
Yep. Did you see
It was quality.
Did you see him at the start of this season?
Not this season, no.
Start of this season, he's the leading goal scorer in the entire league.
It's all right then,
At one point.
Let's talk about a player we have brought in. So Jordan Storey completes Owls loan switch. This is from the Wednesday website. The Owls have signed Jordan Storey from Championship side Preston North End. Storey has posted 20 appearances for the Lily Whites this term and now heads over the Pennines to S6. The Yeovil product rose through the ranks with Exeter to make his senior debut in August 2016. Storey was snapped up by Preston the same summer on a 4-year contract and went on to scoop the club's Young Player of the Year award in his maiden campaign. He told SWFC.co.uk, quote, "I'm delighted to be here. This is a massive club with big ambitions to get back in the Championship and I'm looking forward to getting going. I've spoken to the gaffer who's told me the plans and how I'll fit in. We've had really good conversations and I'm raring to go. I like his ideas, his enthusiasm and what he wants from me and the club, what the club can achieve in the coming months. That sold it to me. This is a really good challenge and if I can come here and make the difference, that would be great." Let's do his FIFA card before we talk about him today. I'm excited about this one. It's a player that's usable. He's a silver. We've got another silver in. 68 rated centre-back silver, 75 pace, 68 defending, 49 dribbling, 27 shooting, 43 passing, 70 physical. Not too bad. And he's usable in an ultimate team with a Wednesday card as well because he's got an English link, so you can actually use him in there if you're a proper FIFA head. That shouldn't be too dreadful. But let's talk about him as a player here. What are your thoughts?
It's a decent little signing. A lot of Preston fans have said you'll get someone who works hard. He's very good on the ball in the air, so he'll get it out, which is something we desperately need. Funnily enough, when we signed him, I got a message from a Forest fan going, "Oh, Howie crybaby, because this is the player who Lyle Taylor a couple of weeks ago had the whole argument on the pitch."
Is it now?
Yes. So apparently Lyle Taylor said in an interview saying he went to the referee and went, "He's standing on me. He's standing on me." I was like, what's your problem? He's standing on me, ref. And apparently Storey turned around and said to me at the end, "If we weren't on this pitch, I'd knock you out." Like, interesting. But
very interesting.
If that's his kind of attitude in that sense, as long as he doesn't win too much and he just gets on with it, I'm not bothered.
Well, he's made 20 appearances this season for Preston.
Yeah, it's not like we're having to get someone back up and running again.
He made 31 for him last season, 29 in the league. He scored a goal last season as well. 10 the year before, and then 28 the year before that. 32 total that year. But he's a
good, decent little player. I think going for, as soon as we knew Bath were gone, going after Storey, perfect. 24, he's a young player. Yes, it's a loan, but he's a young player, and you never know what happens in football. If he does well and he likes it, you might be able to thrash a deal out.
He's 6'2" as well, so he's got, we were talking about needing that bit of height back in the defence. We have got the height back in the defence. Just so you're aware, Jake, you have frozen on my screen. I'm assuming you're back in, so you can still hear me. That is the first time we've ever had a freeze. Ever in 53 episodes. That isn't too bad. That's the first podcast sort of behind the scenes sort of, when you've watched all these podcasts going, "Can you hear me? You're frozen on my screen." Every bloody podcast you've watched for
we just had it that I had a complete freeze on the actual main camera at the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
Couldn't do it without that poor laptop.
Yeah, that was fun when
that laptop had to go in the freezer.
Yeah, you put a laptop in the freezer for some weird reason, didn't you?
It overheated.
So you put it in the freezer?
I put it in the Ziploc bag, then round a towel, and then put it in the thing.
That's so much better, yeah.
Just cooled it down a little bit because it was warm.
Darling, why is there a MacBook next to the pizza?
She did have that, actually. Got it out and said, "Well, apples."
Right, Sheffield Wednesday transfer link here. This is the headline from the Examiner. Quote, Sheffield Wednesday transfer window state of play as Owls close in on Tyrese John Jules. Sheffield Wednesday look to be closing in on their second signing of the January transfer window. This is from the article, quote, Arsenal youngster Tyrese John Jules with the Owls in advance talks with the Premier League side over a loan move for the England under-21 international, who is set to come into a side that was in need of attacking reinforcements. Bloody hell, mate. Sort it out today. What's going on with me? Following the departure of Corbeanu, blah, 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 blah. That's not in the quote. That's me paraphrasing, obviously. Yorkshire Live understands that Moore has spoken to several players in recent weeks and is cautiously optimistic that deals can be struck. Moore is in regular dialogue with his recruitment team, headed up by David Downs. Now, the story's continued a little bit. The Star have been reporting that this is going to happen in the next 48 hours. By the time this podcast goes out, this could already be done.
I was speaking to a Blackpool fan who he just come back from Blackpool, and this is what he said about him. Last game he played was at Nottingham Forest, where because he couldn't be chasing a ball that was his to win, almost level the area. He basically goes on to say quite a lazy player.
Right. I think he was born in 2001. 2001. I can't compute that. Carry on.
So he said he's quite a lazy player, but I think the Darren Moore link up with him playing, well, he didn't play many at Donny, but he was under Darren Moore at Donny. And I think there's that where it seems like he'd like to work with Darren again and hopefully stay injury free, because he didn't get much out of him. But we do need a striker. We do need another striker just in case, but does this mean we're losing one of them going back out kind of thing? Yeah, I mean,
I think he's coming in and he's going to take Berahino's spot. Right, let's looking at his stats here, right? Obviously plays for Arsenal, academy product. He started at Charlton for a bit, but he's 10 years through the youth ranks at Arsenal. Yeah. So, and he still represents England under 21s now. So that's quite a pedigree there. He's made 2 appearances since 2021 for them. He has not made a single senior appearance for Arsenal. He's not one of them that's had a chance yet. In 2019-20, he went on loan to Lincoln in League One. 7 appearances, he scored 1 goal. Not a great return, but you can imagine there's probably not too many minutes there. The Donny move does make sense. It does make the Darren Moore link is there because he played 18 times and he scored 5 goals. You know, it says 21, but there was some cup appearances there as well. 5 in 18's not amazing, but I can imagine some of those were substitute appearances there. If he can score in this level, this was last season, by the way.
Yeah, this
was last season, and then he went to Blackpool, and he's just returned from Blackpool, hasn't he? So that's in the Championship, in fairness. Just because he can't score in the Championship in those 11 appearances in the Championship doesn't mean we can't give it. If it's a loan, I feel like we can give him a chance here, you know?
And it's probably going to be a loan.
He's just 17th of January is when he's gone from
He's
Blackpool,
only just got
so
back then,
he's coming straight to us from there. He wants to play football. We'll read his FIFA card because we keep doing that. 63 rated bronze, 77 pace, 61 shooting, 51 passing, 63 dribbling, 21 defending and 58 physical. Crap FIFA card, but that's not what it's about. It's a 20-year-old. If you actually get him in career and you sign him permanently, oop, hiccup, fun, lovely. Lovely. This will be in a breakout as well, so that's great. Hello, casual watchers of the channel. I also hiccup. He'll be all right for you to use there, but I don't see anything wrong with this because you talk about as like, we do need strikers because Gregory, Windass, Berahino, John Jules. I know we've got Canberry. I see Canberry more as a shadow striker.
Yeah.
And then
we do need to score more.
Yeah, we do.
We do need to score more. We have said.
Funnily enough, we need to score goals to win football matches.
It's like you're telling me the ball needs to go in.
Yeah, exactly. The balls need to be going in frequently, Jake.
Yes.
As you love to say.
To be fair, I thought Soa the last 2 games did quite well. he put himself about. He wasn't the best at Oxford, but he was trying.
I don't necessarily see him as out-and-out striker, though.
No.
So, bringing in John Jules, I think it could be a really clever bit of business, really, because he's not done well at Blackpool. He wants to come and prove himself. He's worked with Darren Moore before.
Well,
what do you think?
The key thing, he's worked with Darren Moore and the same team, because this is the same backroom staff, pretty much, that was at Donny at the time. So
Guess what,
that
though?
helps.
You do realise when he was at Blackpool, your mate probably said this as well, they shunted him out left half the time.
Yeah, and he's an out-and-out striker.
And we might do that, you never know. But if he's a striker and he's made 11 appearances and they weren't too impressed with him, play him as a striker. Now, Darren, if you want to do the joke, Darren Moore will probably play him as a centre-back.
I knew that would come in.
Funny. But no,
if you have Gregory's hold-up play with someone beside him who's got pace, it might work out quite well.
Yeah, and we've got Windass as well, who we know has got pace, so he can also play off Gregory. It's been a while,
I shouldn't have said anything.
It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while, but yeah. Windass with pace. John Jules coming in with a little bit of pace.
It does make me look at how many loans we've got in, though.
We've got no money to spend. We've got money, we can't spend it. We might never spend it under Chansiri again if he's looking to sell. So we might as well bring in players that we can actually bring in.
There was a tweet on Twitter, of all places, you never know that, which I found quite interesting. And it basically was, you know what, with the squad that's been thrown together at the beginning of the season, we couldn't spend anything on any budget. The squad he pulled together under certainty, very good for League One. Personally, think we need a summer without restrictions.
I've said this all along, Jake. I've said the fact that this was half a rebuild because Darren Moore couldn't spend any money.
Yeah.
He's not... You know what annoys me, and I get it. Some people just hate him for hating him. They look at his record. They look at it. They pull in his matches from last season when he was picking up players that didn't want to be here and got us relegated. They look at his record under those. Who, let's just say, what was the record like under Pulis and that under those same players? Let's just say all that.
Also, he was only able to do the job for like 2 weeks.
Yep,
because he got ill.
Yeah, exactly. And then this season,
you actually look at his
record
with Donny. His record with Donny's superb. Got them to playoffs, and look at where they are now.
But maybe we just like the sound of our own voice too much, Jake.
Yeah,
maybe we just, maybe we just defend a man a little bit. I need to see more from him. But he is. I can't. You can't judge him and say he's yes, tactically he can say some things, but you can't say like he's had a fair crack of the whip with transfers and things like that, because he's not. He's had no money to spend.
Yeah. And the thing is,
any manager would, and any manager that would come in would have no money to spend as well.
That's the thing I've got when people keep saying, "Oh, we need to go. We need to bring in someone in." It's like, how do you make someone come to the club when you go, "Hi, this is what you're working with. That's it."
Mm-hmm. We'll see. It might change. If we get battered by Ipswich, I might be quite annoyed next podcast.
Well, to be fair, a couple of podcasts ago, we said it's on that really weird slide at the minute where it could go either way.
Yeah,
with it, because I think sometimes he does get his tactic completely wrong, and you like going, "Why you done that?" Like people question why he brought Brown on for Lang. Lang was blowing. He was gone. He'd done so much running in that game, but you're also looking at. If you look at our team, the one place where we need the biggest support is the back.
Yes.
Because there's just nothing there.
Yes. It's very obvious. As a centre-back, Darren Moore should know this. Get someone who can organise that defence, sort it out.
Yep.
Go in yourself, Darren. Knock them out. Right.
I can't imagine that.
This is a bit of a sidestep of a story, not a transfer, but this is a headline from the start. Quote, victory for fans as the future of Hillsborough secured with a new protective status. Quote, following an application and lobbying by Sheffield Wednesday Supporters Trust, Sheffield Wednesday City Council have designated Hillsborough as an asset of community value, a move designed to protect it against any future change of use or indeed demolition. The stadium, which has been home to Wednesday since 1899, is now owned by a third-party company owned by club chairman Deshfon Chansiri after it was bought from the club as part of an accounting manoeuvre in 2019. A loan was secured against the stadium in 2020.
I love the way they worded that. Accounting manoeuvre.
Accounting manoeuvre, yeah.
I like that.
Right, this is good.
Yeah, it is.
This is really good, and I want to specifically say, like, we always said that he's got to sell the stadium with the club. Look at Derby right now.
He's now got to sell it with the club.
He can't do it. He can't do anything to it.
Yeah.
Derby are not in that situation.
No.
Derby are facing liquidation because you buy Derby at the minute, you don't own much.
No.
You don't even necessarily have their stadium, and there's a chance you're not going to get the stadium.
I think it was today they just lost another player who'd just gone to Chelsea. And a lot of their players were only on short-term contracts. You look at what's happening with this. We spoke about this in February last year. It's taken a year to get it through to everything.
Yeah.
I remember when we first did it and we said this is a good decision. This means whatever happened, Chansiri had to sell with everything. Yep. You can't go, I'll sell you the club, but I'm going to keep this and do what I want with it. No, everything's got to go. And it also means you got that kind of thing. Somebody does come in and go, right, I want to do more with the stadium. They got the opportunity to do so now and spend money on it because it got to be there.
Yes. For I think it's 6 years or something, isn't it? Or something like that. Or it's 4 to 6. It's one of those. But it's protected for a little while, which means Chansiri sells. It's like listed buildings, isn't it? You can only do certain things with it. He can own it, but he can't change its use, which means he can't then decide that he's going to put a factory there or do anything.
For some reason, I've got like playing Monopoly.
To be honest, nobody in their right mind for their safety would mess with the club. I don't say I wouldn't endorse it or anything, but let's be honest, common sense. You remove something historic, there's going to be a lot of angry people that follow you for the rest of your life.
Very much so.
So I don't think we were ever in. I don't think Chansiri would have held on or changed anything anyway. To be fair,
I kind of believe him when he's always said, whenever I sell the club, the stadium go with it because why would I want the stadium?
Yeah,
because you can't build on it because it's over the water.
Mm.
It would be difficult to relocate when as it stands anyway.
Yeah,
and. What annoyed me the other day, actually, and it's something that bugbear me because I saw it on Google the other day. Because when you type went into Google, our old badge pops up, right?
Yes, it does.
Done my head in. Might help if the club actually took it off the sodding megastore because it's the old badge on the megastore still.
Is it?
Yes. The branding is so confusing.
Do you mean on the website?
No, on the actual megastore.
Oh yeah, no, on the actual megastore. Yeah, no, but that's not a thing.
Oh.
That's not a thing though. Of course, yeah. I thought you meant on the website. The website they're not updated like the icons. No, of course they have, mate. Have you not seen the ground?
Yeah,
every different shade of blue is different.
But surely, if you're changing the logo and you're putting it bang flap on the carp, surely you think, I'll get a little one made to go over that as well. Because they thought about it when they changed it on the big one. You know what I mean?
We've got no money to spend, Jake.
I'm pretty sure someone with a 3D printer could just knock one out and give them to it.
They could do what now, sir?
Shut up.
But no, this is a good thing that they are protected.
No, it is a very good thing.
We don't have to worry like that, but Derby are in trouble. And we did say it was coming. It was coming. That's it for the news this week. We had the John Sheridan thing as an additional bit there, but we don't need to talk about it.
You mean the John Sheridan bit that just made you go, oh God, what's this?
Yeah, it's because it was the story. We put it in at the last minute and I didn't edit over it. And if I don't edit over it, my eyes go, where am I picking this from? Because I don't know where, because this story's got 3 different articles in it and I ain't dealing with that right now. So there we go. We'll go to our community, shall we?
Yes. So
Worko writes into the Discord and says, do we have the same pull factor for players that is being suggested even in all the media talk? Us being the, quote, colossal club in League One, end quote, or is that talk a mind game tactic by opposition managers, etc., to get into our players' heads? So we did look at the wages earlier, just to sort of like say that as well. Technically, yes, we are one of those quote, colossal clubs, but there is a bit of trying to let their teams off of it a little bit because we've not been playing like a colossal club, have we? The pressure's on us whenever we go anywhere to perform.
We are everyone cup final. I hate saying that because it sounds disrespectful, but it is the case. We are with
a relegated side with Barry Bannan in the side, right?
Yeah.
So if Wednesday do not get a result, it is bad for Wednesday. It is not bad for the other club. Nothing is bad for the other. If they lose to us, they can just turn around and use the argument of, well, Wednesday has got the best squad in the league.
I think we don't have that kind of because of what's happened in the couple of seasons and the whole thing with Chancery not paying players. We haven't been like a great club to go, hey, come play for us. We want you to come play due to the name because of off-field situation. I think you've got that. Back when we were in League One, when it was Megson and then Dave Jones, there was still that kind of, you're still a big club. We can still do it. You're still part of the footballing history. And I think we're slowly dropping out of that because, what is it? It's now 3 relegations now, League One-ish, in theory, because we went down in, second.
In my lifetime, 3rd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you start having that kind of bounce where you can't stay in the Championship for a while, I think you get seen as that kind of, can we do this? And especially with all the off-field stuff that's been happening.
I disagree in that because we were a Championship side. Our last promotion, we did a decade. Right?
Oh, yeah, we did.
And it was more like, are we going to become a Premier League side? It was actually shocking to see how fast we fell. And it was because of FFP.
Yep.
And we won't be the last club to fall prey to it. But knowing our luck, they will scrap it. Yeah. And we'll be the ones that have had to suffer it. But they will scrap it because so many clubs are getting into trouble with it.
So many clubs are getting into trouble and so many clubs don't understand it because it keeps changing.
I don't want Derby to go bust, right?
No, I don't.
But I am against them altering the rules for them.
I think there's a lot of Wednesday fans who are looking at what's going on with Derby and go, where was the big uproar when we nearly went bust? Where was the entire stuff when we had
The only reason I don't want them to let it go because it sets a precedent for any club going, well, where's our bailout package?
Yeah.
Where was our bailout package? No. Why did we have to follow the rules? Because the thing is...
Why did Macclesfield?
It is never the fans' fault, right?
No.
Ever. It wasn't our fault. We went down at our expense was at Derby's gain last season, right? Staying up. But Mel Morris knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He blatantly knew what he was doing. We did something minor in comparison and got shafted for it, and now we're in League One.
Well, also, remember, Mel Morris is the person who invented Candy Crush with his company. Now, you know who Candy Crush is now owned by, right?
Xbox. Microsoft.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's got to have been some sort of thing if we ever get taken over, the money there kind of thing as a company. So the thing is, this whole thing where people going, he's not getting, he's still got a fair bit of money. The problem is he's just had enough.
Yeah.
He couldn't shift them. He's sick of FFP. But the thing is, I get really annoyed.
So Chancery though, that's why he's out. That's why he's looking to sell, because he's sick of FFP. You know, he wanted to actually spend and get this club to the heights. The annoying thing is, and I'm saying this, one thing has stopped us being a Premier League, either yo-yo club or an established Premier League club.
Go on.
You know what it is?
FFP.
It's FFP, but it's one kick of a football. It's literally one kick of a football, Mo Diame.
Yeah.
That's what gets me, right? Because it's that one bloody thing that if that roll of the dice had worked, with the financial stability that had come into it, the money and the situation Wednesday were in.
Also, the club Wednesday to blame for all the FFP, QPR. That season, they went up. They had a bigger wage wage budget than Borussia Dortmund.
Look at Wolves. Wolves spent so much money.
Villa.
So much money, but their gamble paid off and they went up.
Well, look at Villa. Villa are actually the third richest club in the Premiership.
Yeah.
which people don't think of. And we could have that whole situation with FFP, because it had been shown you don't have to spend a fortune to go up. It had been done. But at the same time, it's very rare you get that team that does. Look at Fulham this year in the Championship. How many times they put 6 or 7 past someone this season?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they might as well make a league, them and Norwich, you know?
Yeah.
I've just seen Wednesday promoting the Sherlock's new album. Can I just say, where was I released an EP? I'm a Wednesday fan. Where was my promotion? Hey? Anyway, next topic. Thanks, Worko. Who is Sheffield Wednesday's most famous fan was written into us.
Ooh. I know Michael Vaughan's a massive Wednesdayite.
Some of the Monkeys are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Def Leppard's guitarist.
Yeah.
He's Attenborough. Did you say he's Attenborough?
Yeah. Not Attenborough, other one.
What do you mean, other one?
Not David Attenborough. I'm thinking...
What?
Hang on.
I honestly don't know where you can be going with this.
I'm really bad today with my memory. Oh. Not Attenborough. Who is it?
Jarvis Cocker is.
Yes.
For me, in terms of, it's probably Rick Savage, Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Because it's Def Leppard massive.
It's always funny listening to Joe Elliott as well, because he's always trying to put a ribbon on the whole Wednesday United thing on the radio. It's really funny.
Would you say currently probably Harry Maguire?
Jamie Vardy?
Yeah, Jamie Vardy. But if you go outside of football, I mean, Jermaine Jackson didn't he?
Oh yeah, that was a weird one. That was strange.
Yeah, I can't really remember too many more. Let us know in the comments if you know of any that we've not mentioned.
That was a strange one when they turned around and said that. Yeah.
We'll do a little bit more on this one in the future, but also
Gary
written
Cahill.
to us. Gary, yeah. Thank you. You're still frozen, by the way, Jake. I've been enjoying you gurning at me for the past 10 minutes. Yes.
You can still hear me. That's the main thing. Oh, Reverend the Makers League singer, John McKeown.
Yeah.
Well, he's only really famous. I'm going to get part of this. I feel like he's one of those ones I think he's one of those ones where people from Sheffield know who he is, but he's saying to someone else they might not. Oh, Radiohead guitarist is Johnny Greenwood.
I see. There's a fair few.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really frozen.
You are really frozen. This was also, thank you for using the emails, guys, for writing these in. But this one comes, but I would say the anonymous emails we get, please start saying who you are. You
do realise we've missed the big one.
What?
David Guerrero, Guy Sport presenter, when we were on that season when we were going up.
He only supports us when there's a chance we can get to the Premier League, let's be honest. Other than that, that's the only time he tweets about us.
Weezer's lead singer is a Wednesday fan.
I see. We can stop this topic now. Let us know in the comments. I want to go and get my dinner, Jake. Sorry.
Yeah, so do I.
There's another topic. Right, so as the transfer deadline comes closer, is there anything that you are still hoping for / wanting to see? If the club wasn't still under restrictions, who would be an ideal signing?
Jeez.
We're going to probably do a bit of one on this because next week...
It's deadline day.
It is deadline day on the day of the podcast recording as well.
I don't even want to start with going a fit player because we want them all to be fit. There was a lot of players we missed out on in the summer. We put in thingy.
An experienced centre back for me, someone like Flint.
Yeah, but apparently we're back into the Cheltenham centre back that we were looking at signing in the summer as well.
Okay, as long as we don't hurt him. I don't know where this is going now. I'm running on fumes.
I would have liked to see you go for someone like a Will Grigg kind of thing, just to see that kind of League One experience. because I think when we were looking at players, we were so... It was so hard for us to try and get anybody. When you think about who we could sign with cash, you never know what that would have been looked like, because from everything we've seen, Darren Moore's had full control with it. Now, is that because Darren Moore's had no cash to spend, or Darren Moore's been allowed to? Because you don't know if the cash to spend does Chansiri go down that model that he'd done previous years.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It does make sense. If I'm just answering blatantly the question there, though, mate, it is just, who are we still wanting to see? It is that experienced centre-back for me, on my side. That would be my ideal signing. We need experience because Dunkley's keeps getting injured. And
I'd like an experienced centre-back, and I would like those to go and got a permanent goalkeeper replacement. That's ours.
I don't think that's going to happen, mate.
No, but we're always running that risk. If they suddenly have a bad injury, he's gone.
They can't. If he's on a season-long deal and he passes January...
Theo was on a season-long deal.
They recalled him in January, Jake.
No, but I think he got a
Jake.
I know what you're saying, but a lot of these recall things have all got different clauses in due to the COVID.
If you are on a season-long deal, what usually happens, unless they are on like rolling deals, and I might be wrong. Yes, there might be COVID clauses in there, but season-long deals usually mean
normally
you can only be recalled in January, because that's a review of the loan when you can send people back in. There's in there. I very much doubt he could be recalled at any time. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm probably going to be wrong now watching get recalled in March. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
I would just love to see us get a goalkeeper in which we could then build with, because starting next season, we're going to be bringing Dawson back. Wildsmith might not be there. You've got the two young lads. Are we going with Dawson next season?
Yes, of course we are. It's the plan. Unless we go up and then we sign a veteran keeper, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If we're in League One, Dawson comes back in, doesn't he? He's number one.
Yeah.
Makes the most sense. It's been weird not seeing you because I can't judge you. I don't like this. I don't like you being frozen. This is 2 Zoom podcasts for me. I'm not a fan. But that is it for this week's episode of the Talking Wednesday podcast. You got anything to add, Jake? He's back.
I am back. And
did you just turn it off and turn it on again and only just think to do that?
Yeah, and you've also not done the net match stats.
I've not. God's sake, I want my dinner.
Same. I'm hungry.
No, we're not saying the podcast is a chore. Of course, we're not saying that. I'm being facetious. It's been a long day. We love talking to you all. We love doing the podcast. It's just, when you're having one of them.
Monday, the time we record it, it's always going to be a long day.
It is. Sheffield Wednesday versus Ipswich Town next. They are 9th in League One. Big one, this one. 38 points, Ipswich. We are playing them at Hillsborough. Their away record is 14 points as opposed to the 24 points they've been getting at home. So they're not as good on the road. They did win last time out against Accrington Stanley. That was at home for them. They've got a goal difference of 8, though, so they can score goals, Ipswich. This is a big test for me.
You already know what the chances are going to be at Bailey, though, don't you? He's behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. I named the podcast He's Behind You.
I know you did.
It wasn't very kind, really, was it? But it was.
We got to get something from this one. I think this game and possibly the next 2 games is where we're going to see make or break for us if we're going to be going for it or we're just going to be mid-table this season.
Yep, I agree. We'll recap that on the next podcast and we will know if Wednesday are bringing anyone through the door. There's a chance that I say we are not doing it and we do a live podcast next week. There's a chance, depending on how Monday looks. If it looks like we're bringing a few players in, I might say, hey, Jake, we're going to put a pin in this and just go live for 45 minutes or something on Tuesday.
Well known for doing it as well, so...
Yeah, if it's... we might do that. We've let all our live subscriptions lapse, so the quality wouldn't be great.
It's all pending, so we'll
But if it doesn't... But audio listeners, because you get this at midday in the audio feeds, if it doesn't drop midday, that's what's happening. So make sure you tune to YouTube, and we will upload it. You'd possibly get it the night, or you'd get it Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. It would drop an audio feed. So if you're an audio listener, do not panic. That just might be us making sure we can be as current as possible with the Wednesday transfer news. But that's it for me, Jay. Anything to add this week?
No, just have a good one and stay safe.
Stay safe. You go eat your tea, guys. I don't care if you're in your car and it's 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Just pull over.
You're on some bloke who's listened to in Australia. So well, it's morning, but okay, I'll have my tea.
Yeah, exactly. Or the Philippines, where we've apparently got a lot of listeners for some reason in the Philippines. Take care, guys. We will see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.